Hello everyone, I am Prashant Nandam. Welcome back to our channel. As a part of our AWS Masterclass series, today we will learn VPC concepts. And in our previous session, we have come to know how to create AWS account, and we have seen AWS console overview, and we have seen IAM permissions and AWS regions. Today, in session 4, we will cover introduction to VPC and how to create subnets, what are route tables, how to create them, and why internet gateway is used and NAT gateway is used, what is elastic IP, and at last we'll see what are security groups. To begin, let's start. And before starting that, I just want to give an overview. What topics we are going to learn today? VPC. Why this game? VPC we are going to learn, okay? And what is VPC? VPC is, its full form is Virtual Private Cloud. It is also called as VPC, okay? And it is a logically isolated section of the AWS account where you can launch easy to instance, and you can manage the network within the AWS account. So you will be managing all your network information in the VPC. And then we have subnets. Subnets. Then the subnet is a range of an IP addresses within your VPC, okay? And in subnet we have public subnet and private subnet. We will look into them. Just as an overview, I'm going through all these things. And we have route tables. Route tables. It contains route table contains the rules that determines how the traffic will flow. And then we have internet gateway, which is gateway internet gateway is it will allow communication between the resources. It gives the internet access. It gives the internet access to your resources, okay? Then we have NAT gateway. NAT gateway is like it allows the instances which are in private network to to connect the internet, which means NAT gateway will allow the missions which are in private network to access the internet. And then we will discuss elastic IP. Elastic IP is nothing but public IP, public IP address. Cool. And security group will look into it at last. Okay, let's begin. And to begin with, we'll go to our AWS console. Let's assume this is our VPC. Before that, let me draw a diagram for you. This is our VPC, and in this VPC, before that we need this is our VPC, and inside this is our VPC, and inside this, let's assume we have this is our VPC, and inside this we have a public subnet and a private subnet. Let's name it as pri private subnet. This is our private subnet, and this is our public subnet. Okay, let's remove this. This is our VPC. We have public subnet and private subnet, and in this private subnet we need to have internet routes, internet gateways, NAT gateways, and route tables as well. Let's change this color to this one. We'll change to this one, subnet. Public subnet. Or let's keep it as subnet. And same here as well. Let's name it as subnet. Okay, now we will be having, we have private subnet, public subnet, and this I'll explain you that later. And let's assume we let's give internet gateway as well. Let's take this one. This is a internet gateway. Let's keep this color. IG is internet gateway. Okay, internet gateway, and then we need to have a NAT gateway as well. Let's take this one as a NAT. NAT gateway. Okay, and we need to have route tables. So let's keep this here, and we need to have route tables. Let's give that as well. Let's take this one. RT is route table. Okay, cool. Now this is what we are going to do. We will be creating a VPC, and then inside VPC we will be having public subnet and private subnet, and then the internet gateway, NAT gateway, and route tables. Cool. Let's begin. So this is our AWS console, and in our console, we to create a VPC, either you can go to services and search select VPC, I mean from here, or you can also search for VPC and click on this VPC. And after clicking this VPC, we will be seeing a dashboard which explains VPC, NAT Gateway, everything. Click on this VPC, and this is by default AWS will give you a VPC account. Okay, and to create your own, click on this create VPC and give a name for your VPC. I'll give pr-test-VPC, and this is the CIDR block or the IP range. Let's give 10.0.0.0/16, and then I don't want to give a tenancy for now. Cool. These are the tags. Now just click on create VPC. See, you successfully created a VPC. Wonderful. So this means we have created this part. We have created our VPC. What is VPC? VPC is a virtual private cloud, and you can manage all your network settings. You can manage everything in that VPC network and everything. Now we have a VPC. Let's go back to this previous section like VPC. See, now we have VPCs. If you click on here, see, PR test VPC is the one which we recently created. Okay. Now, after VPC, what we need to create? We need to create a subnets. To do that, click on subnets. And these are the default ones. I don't want to go with this because we have recently created our own VPC. And click on create and then select our own VPC. Then in the name, give PR-subnet. Let's take this as a public subnet. Public subnet hyphen, I'll take 1A. Availability zone, it means it will give you the maximum. I mean, you won't be having any what I can say, the availability zone is like it will give you high availability, like you don't face any issues or network droppage or something. Like it will keep you your availability zone or your subnet always available and in a high availability. So we'll be creating we'll be selecting availability zone as 1A and CIDR block. I gonna change this. This is our CIDR block which the subnet VPC we have, and this is the subnet CIDR block. I'm going to give it as, this is our VPC subnet which is public, and then I go with private subnet as well. PR-private subnet -1A, same. For availability zone, I have selected 1A. You can select multiple 1B as well, or you can give multiple subnets while creating this. Now I'll give the second subnet range. Cool. We have done public subnet and private subnet. Let's click on this. Wonderful. We have public subnet and private subnet. Now if you go back here, you can see you can feel like we have multiple VPCs, and if you are getting confused, we have a good option, wonderful option here. Click on this filter VPC, and we can see the VPCs which are available, and the VPC which we created is PR test VPC. So select on that, and then click on the subnets. You will see only that subnets. Now what we have created, we have VPC, we have created public subnet, private subnet. Next we have internet gateways, NAT gateways, and route tables. Okay, now after creating that, what we need to have, we need an internet gateway. Why? Internet gateway is used to give your resources internet connection. I mean the public resources, the missions which are in public subnet, they need an internet gateway, right? Internet access. That is why we are creating internet gateway. Create internet gateway, and this will be unassigned to any VPC. If you see here, detach it. Click on actions, attach to VPC. In this, select our VPC, attach internet gateway. Cool, wonderful. So now we have VPC, we have subnet, we have create an internet gateway, and we have assigned this internet gateway to our VPC. See, this is our internet gateway and this is allocated to our VPC. Got it? Now we have route tables. You can select from here as well and select route tables here. This will specify how the routes, I mean how the traffic will go, and how the routes needs to be, which which route provides the internet and which route provides the access to certain ports or something. You can mention over there in routes. And in this we will create two route table. One is for public, one is for private. Public route table, and select our VPC, PR test VPC, and create route table. Now we have our public route table created. Okay, and we just created, but we haven't assigned or allocated anything, right? So to have our public route table to access the internet, click on the routes, click on add route. This will allow internet access, and then here select internet gateway, and in this select the one which we recently created and save changes. This will allow the missions which are in public subnet to have internet, and here we need to give the subnet. Which subnet? Public subnet. We have to select our public subnet and see. If you see here, we have public route table which is assigned to public subnet, and we have an internet gateway which is assigned to our VPC. Cool. Now see, we have public route table. Similarly, we have to create private route table. Private route table. Again, select our VPC, create route table. Okay, wonderful. Now in private route table, what we have to have? Private subnet. Click on this, select private subnet, save change association. Now in private route table, we have private route table. Wonderful. Now we have added our private route table, and we need to create a NAT gateway. Why? To have access to, it will give access to our private subnets to access internet. Click on NAT gateways. I don't think we created just any. Yeah, create NAT gateway, PR-NAT, and select subnet. What subnet we have to select? Public subnet we need to select. Why public subnet? We are getting access from the internet, access from the public subnet. So select the public subnet, NAT gateway and public subnet. Here we need to create an elastic API. Why? Public API we need to have, right? And this needs to be assigned to NAT gateway. So to do this, I'll just allocate a random one, or you can create one and assign here, and then create NAT gateway. If you see here, NAT gateway is created and a public API is assigned to it. Now this NAT gateway, now we have to go to route tables. Okay, we have public route, private route, and in private route we have added private subnet, and let me open this private route table. If you see here, only subnet association we have done, and we do not have any routes. But to have internet access to private subnet, we need to have a route, and that route needs to be click routes and then add it, then 00, and then from where it has to get, from NAT gateway, and where this NAT gateway is assigned, public subnet. Okay, and then save changes. Cool, we have now NAT route as well. So this is how we can create public subnet and private subnet. So if you see here, we have created a VPC, and inside this we have public subnet and we have private subnet. We will be having missions which needs to be exposed to internet. They will be in public subnet, and their missions which do not want to have internet access directly, they will be created in private subnet. And public subnet, I mean, we'll be having route tables. In route tables we'll be assigning public subnet, and we will be assigning internet gateway to our VPC. Why we need internet from our VPC? So we'll be assigning that, and we'll be creating route tables. See, in route tables, public route table. If you click on public route table, it will give you a routes details. In public route table, we have internet gateway. Why we need internet access? Then we have public subnet. Okay. Similarly, we have private subnet. We have assigned private subnet here. For private route table, we have assigned private subnet, and in our routes, we have NAT, and this NAT is assigned to public subnet. From there, we will be having internet access to our private subnets. Cool. Hope you understood. Now we have security groups, and this is a part of VPC. We done with VPC now. So what all we have done? We came to know what is VPC and how to create a VPC. And after creating VPC, we understood what is public subnet, what is private subnet. We came to know how to create a public subnet, how to create a private subnet. Then we understood how the internet access will be available within our VPC, how via internet gateways, and internet gateways assigned to our VPC because we need internet. And then we need to have route tables. Why? The route table will tell the VPC how the flow is, and in route tables we need to write routes, and that we have public route table for public subnets, private route table for private subnets. And in public route table, what we have done, we have edited a rules, and for public subnets, what we need internet, so we have assigned internet gateway, and we have assigned public subnet. And for private subnet, from where we need to get internet, from the missions which are in public subnets. So we created a NAT gateway, and we have assigned that NAT gateway to public subnet, and then we have allocated a public IP. And in routes, we'll be going to private route tables, we'll be editing the rules, and we'll be having NAT gateway to the private subnets. Now I want to show you security groups. Security groups is the one of the important feature in EC2, I can say, because it will tell us what needs to be allowed into our mission and what needs to be blocked. Let me create security group. By default, we have some security groups. To create security group, you can just search for security group, and here click on create security group. We have to give our security group name. I'll give PR security group. Description we can leave, and we have to select our VPC. And here, let me create this, then I'll show you the rules. Okay, for demo. Okay, we have created a security group successfully. Now in security group, what we'll be having inbound rules and outbound rules. What is, I mean, why inbound and outbound rules are required? Can anyone, like, because inbound rules will allow the traffic to enter into our instances, and outbound rules will tell what traffic is allowed to leave. I mean, leave the instance which we have created. For suppose inbound rules, I'll create on edit inbound, and I'll add a rule. And inbound rule, I can use TCP. Let's take SSH 22 custom. You can change this anyways. You can give particular IP address, or you can define your own my IP. You can mention custom as well. So I'll save this rule. See now instance within the security group can access, and what I have mentioned inbound rule SSH. What SSH will do, it will give session access to you. I mean, when we create a EC2 mission in this security group, the SSH inbound rule will allow you to access the VM, which is in AWS. So if you do not have SSH rule in inbound, it will not allow you, which means we are allowing someone to enter into our instances, and that is happening because of inbound rule, which is port 22, and it is a SSH port. We can also have multiple ports for the inbound rules based on our requirement when we are doing any project. And for outbound rules, this will tell us what traffic we define to leave from our missions. Okay, SSH is allowing someone to access our workstation, and outbound will tell what needs to be go out from our instance. I can You can click on edit. We have all. So all, we do not have any restrictions on here. And if we want to have any restrictions for outbound, for like if we need to have any internet access to download any uh, updates or something, we can just have HTTP or HTTPS, HTTP, and then this I can say any, and then HTTPS, and then same I'll give any, because I'm leaving a traffic from a mission to outside. This is how we'll create outbound rules, and these will allow these will allow the traffic from these ports to go out from your instances. I mean, this will leave the request for 8443 will leave from your missions to the outside. That's how it is. And that's all I have for today. So just to recap, first we'll go with security groups only. Security group we need when we are going to create EC2, but since we are talking about VPC, I just thought of informing this as well, since it is also a security. We have to create, I mean, security groups, and then we have to give a name and click. Then after that we will be having inbound and outbound rules. We'll be providing inbound rules and outbound rules. Inbound rules means which we are allowing from outside to our missions. Outbound rules which we are allowing from our missions to outside. And then VPC, if I search here, VPC, this is our VPC, and it is a virtual private cloud, or you can say it will allow you to manage your network which you define in this region or in this VPC. And subnets we have created. Subnet is a range of IP addresses in your VPC. Okay, we have created a VPC, right? Which VPC? This one. And subnets is a range of IP addresses from this VPC. See here, this one. This is the subnets, and this is a range of IP addresses. And then we have seen route tables. This is our route table. We have public route and private route. We can see this one. We have assigned NAT gateway to our private route table to have internet from the public subnet. Then we have public route tables for public subnets, and we have routes. That's one thing. You can click here. Same it will show. Okay. And then and then we have internet gateways, and this is assigned to our VPC to have internet. And then we have elastic IP, we have a private public IP which needs to be allocated to our NAT gateway, and this NAT gateway is assigned to our public subnet. Cool. That's it from my end. And if you want me to provide a complete detailed information on CADR block or subnet ranges and how the CADR block works and everything, if you want me to teach you, just let me know in the comment section. I'll provide a more detailed video on that. And hope you understood, and if you have any queries related to it, please comment in the video section once I upload it to video YouTube. I'll let you know more in detail in the comment section. I request you to subscribe to our channel for more updates and share this channel information to your friends or colleagues who are interested in learning DevOps, so that it will help them as well. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to delete the VPCs or subnets which were created once you're done with your work, so that you can avoid excess charges. If not, they will charge you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.